Excellent. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ronald Cepeda. I'm a mortgage broker with Pioneer Mortgage Funding, and I'm here with my colleague, Julia Skalova. And today we're going to share with you the different lending programs available for international clients, how to apply and close more deals with these programs, and also we're going to discuss the buyer pool and the demographic of who these international clients are. Before we get into all that, though, a little bit about us. I graduated from the Ohio State University. I studied international business, and immediately out of college, I got recruited by one of the big banks out there. As soon as I got into the lending world, this was it for me. People who play basketball, baseball, or they become doctors. I knew I was going to lend money, really, for the rest of my life, in essence. 4 years into the game up north, I got the opportunity to relocate to Miami with the bank. So really applying my degree, lending, and just opening up a new market for me down here, I jumped on it. This month marks the 10th year that I have been a mortgage broker. Through the years, I've worked with different institutions that have really sculpted me into kind of the guy that I am today. Whether it's a first-time home buyer, the luxury market, construction, fix and flip, we've seen it all, we've done it all, and we're learning every single day.
I'm Julia Skalova. I'm Russian. I came here 15 years ago with a dream, and I'm living the dream right now. Basically, I graduated university in South Carolina. I live in South Carolina for about 5 years, and then I came here. And I've been in banking the whole time here. I've actually had a lot of roles. I've been in business banking. I was in private banking. I worked with the doctors, with attorneys. And here in Miami, when I moved 6 years ago, one of my colleagues introduced me to mortgages. And I really like it. Especially I'm Russian, Sunny Isles, Aventura, North Miami, it's all my people. I work a lot with the Russian clients. I've seen it more, now it's a little bit less. But this is a great also opportunity if you ever have anybody who speaks Russian, that I can help out as well. And this is a great program that is specifically Ronald will tell us more about it. And
so let's hop right into it. So we're mortgage brokers. We're not banks, nor we are a lender. We're more advantageous because we work with over 50 different banks and lenders that can accommodate a lot of different scenarios. Through our years, we've discovered that everyone offers a loan to a foreign national. Everyone does. They got these rates, we can do this, we can do that, but at the end of the day, they never close. So what we've done is we've teamed up with a lender, and we made a program that is specifically designed for international buyers. It doesn't matter where they're from, it's designed specifically for them. So
Exactly.
If they're Venezuelan, we have a loan specific for Venezuelan. If it's they're Colombian, Eastern Europe, French, Italian, it doesn't matter. That's how we're selling it. And that's what we're doing. Before I go into the loans, let's talk about analytics though. I pulled this information from the Miami Association of Real Estate, and this is 2019. So I have there's presentations. The presentation is in the folders, so if you guys want to jot notes. So to understand who we're working with at the moment, and this can change at any given time depending the economic climate or social climate of these different countries. Right now, these are the countries that are driving demand here in Miami. So myself as a mortgage broker, I'm going to target these particular clients. So if I'm working with a Brazilian agent, listen, this Brazilian agent, we have a loan program specifically for Brazilian clients. Because if you go, let's say you go visit, and we've all been somewhere, you go to Colorado because it's chilly and you want the snow. And damn, I want to buy something now in Colorado. Well, where do you go? You don't know anyone. First place you're probably going to go is either a real estate office that's local, that you can just walk in and talk to someone, or if you have a bank, if you bank with Chase or Wells Fargo, you might go in there and ask for a local real estate agent, or you might look online. Those are really the three platforms that these foreign buyers, or just really any buyer in essence, go to check it out. So if you are the expert in for this particular market, doesn't matter where you're from, you can be French, we have a French, Venezuelan, you can really market to them and gain their trust because the program is streamlined and it's already built. So these next couple of slides, these are the different countries that are coming in, the demand. This is all current data 2019 from the Miami Association of Realtors. And then this is the buyer pool. This is directly from them. This is what they've seen. So sometimes I get phone calls from agents and say, hey, how's the market? It's really slow right now. I tell them the market is hot because if someone's not buying here, someone else, there's always someone buying. There's always a demand for something from any particular country. But we just got to get creative and offer solutions to be able to close more loans. So let's talk about the financing options. So out of the hundreds of lending programs out there, we've really streamlined it down to two. We have the streamlined purchase and refinance, so we can do purchases and we can do refinances. And then we also have the investor bridge, which is going to be it's going to be a little bit more aggressive. It's going to be it's a quicker close, and it's going to be for investors. If you have any questions, just let me know. Talk kind of quick. So with the streamlined purchase and refinance, the minimum loan size here, we can lend anywhere from $200,000 to $5 million. If they're buying a house, they can go as low as 25% down. If they're buying a condo, as low as 30% down. No condo questionnaire required, so we don't have to worry about if it has budget reserves or anything like that. Dwelling types, we can do single-family residences, we can do condos, and we can do multi-units. We also dabble a little bit into condo, hotel, and commercial. But that's a whole different presentation, and I might bring different food, so that's a different one. Interest rates, 5.25% to 7.5% down. You know, so the more money they put down, the better the rate's going to be. More money down, better the rate. Less money down, rate's going to be a little higher. But again, it's streamlined. There's not a lot of paperwork required, and we close. Terms, all of these loans are on a 30-year contract. So, for example, like your most common loan is a 30-year fixed loan, right? So these loans are going to be on a 30-year contract, and then your interest rate is going to be fixed for the first 5-year, 7-year, or we can do a full 30-30.
Depends what they're gonna choose, the clients, what they wanted to do.
The lower the terms, the better the rate's going to be. But we have an amazing database in CRM that at the end of the period, we call the agent and we call the client. Hey, are we going to refinance? Are we going to sell the home? Do we need another home? We're always on top of it because the interest rates are variable afterwards. And we call them on their birthdays too. You know, it's good to have that kind of contact because once you close one deal, they are your ambassador or your advocate to that particular country. You know, so I have friends in Argentina, United Kingdom, France, China, Canada. You know, we're all over the place because it's that one person that you close that deal and you're already vetted. So they tell their friends, and then you just keep it going. Close. It's about 30 to 45 day close on some of these. So if it's a house, we can do 30. If it's a condo, I typically ask for 45 days. So it's really traditional, like your traditional American buyers, 30 to 45% down.
For the terms, are there prepayment penalties?
Prepayment penalties is 3-year prepayment penalties. So on month 37, they can obviously pay it off. The way you would apply this particular kind of program, let's say a buyer wants to buy $1 million house, just to keep the numbers simple, right? Instead of paying $1 million cash and taking the money out of their country, which is going to cost some fees and just,
sometimes
flags.
It's impossible. Yeah.
All they need to do is wire the down payment and the closing costs directly to the attorney, and that's it. All we have to see is that they have money in the bank. They wire the money directly to the attorney, and then we can close.
They don't really need even to have an account here to wire first to account that sits here for 2 months. This program allows them to wire directly from their checking account in their country to their attorney, which is just something new because it was the way that the money had to sit in US for 2 months to clear and stuff like that.
Yeah, not anymore. Yes, sir.
Is this insured by Fannie Mae?
No. That's a great question, though. No, these are these kind of loans are portfolio programs. This is a portfolio
for
program.
The lenders.
So these banks, they have a lot of cash and they put it on
The
their
regular
books.
bank like Wells Fargo or a Bank of America will not be able to do that.
It's a really good question, though. It's a really good question.
Question, how do you qualify for those?
We're getting there. We're getting there. You're gonna like the qualification part. So they put their down payment, They wire the money over to escrow, and they pay it off little by little, so they get their money into the country. And then once the mortgage is paid off, we can do what's called a recapture loan. So we'll cash out the equity or the money that they put into the home, we give it back to the client, and then they can invest here, and you know, they can buy other properties. You know, usually a client will buy their second home here, or like their vacation home. They get familiar with the city, and then they cash out, and then they start buying smaller units for investment purposes. I've seen that a lot. So that's streamlined purchase and refinance, and how we can apply it. So, Mr. Client, we don't have to buy cash anymore. We have a program specifically for you. So if he's Mexican, hey, we got a Mexican lending program that you can do this. Say again? Ahorita. Sí, ahorita. I cover the Latin American division. Julia covers Eastern Europe. So we're all encompassing. This is my favorite program, the Investor Bridge. Why is it my favorite? Well, let me explain. First of all, closing is 7 to 14 days. It's very, very quick. It's a very quick closing. Loan sizes are going to be $500,000 to $10 million. Down payments anywhere from 35 to 50% down. There's no bank statements required. There's no seasoning. They just need to wire the money to the attorney. Dwelling types, we can do houses, single-family residence, condos, multi-units, and commercial and condo hotel. Again, separate conversation. Interest rates are going to be anywhere from 8 to 12% annually, right? I like that. Check this out. So I'll give you an example of how this thing works. Let's say someone just bought at Armani. They put 50% down, and they need the other 50 to close. They can't close because their money's tied up, or who knows what, you know? We come in, we close in 7 days, right? We put the other 50%, and then they hold it for like 2-3 months, and that's it. So if they hold it for 2-3 months, all they're paying for is the initial closing cost, and then you take 12, for example, divided by 12, it's 1% a month. So if you hold it for 3 months, you really only pay 3% on your money. You know, so it's a short-term, quick solution to be able to close. We really bridge the gap. Yes, sir.
How many points do you charge?
I charge 1. The lender charges 1. So you're in it at 2.
2 points.
It's not bad. It's not bad. People charge like 3 and 2.5. It's no reason, man. It's just volume. We can do these for new construction.
Which is awesome.
So we're closing one tomorrow on a new construction. I'm not going to say anything, but it's mañana, and then I'll post it on social media. We do construction. We can do new construction like the condos, so new construction condos, and we can also do zero down. This is my perfect one. So let's say you have a guy that owns, or lady, that owns this particular property, free and clear. It's $1 million, right? And they want to buy this one that is worth another $1 million, right? They don't want to get their money out of their country. So what we do is we take 50% out of their existing, and we apply that as the down payment. So we'll do a short-term bridge, and then we'll put a loan behind that one. So in essence, it's a 2-for-1. So
And
we can,
close together.
we can do 2 loans in one, so your client can roll in the down payment, roll in the closing costs, and he doesn't have to put any money out of pocket, except for the appraisal. Sorry?
Are a lot of people doing that?
All the time.
Foreigners do that.
Oh yeah, and Americans. We can do both. Foreign American. With this one. Again, 7 to 14 day close with these.
You would have to have enough equity in that property, right?
Right. You have to
Typically.
have like free and clear, but usually some of their foreign clients, sometimes, you know, they buy cash and they wanted to buy another property and they don't want to move the money or anything, they just want to work. That's what we do with it. We just do the loan and then do the purchase and do it together, close it together.
Or let's say an American client, a New Yorker,
The
right?
same.
He owns the property free and clear, and he wants to buy something down here. So what we do is we take equity out of his property up there, and we use that as the down payment as he's selling it, because it's a short-term loan. He's going to sell this property, he's going to pay this off, and then we'll put a loan behind that down payment.
Same rates?
No, it's a little different. That one's more like custom. that's a custom. The bridge will be the same rate,
The bridge will be the
but
same.
the other one would be it's anywhere from like 3.875
That would be
to like
more like a regular.
like the
loan.
American three. Yeah, 3.875 on the American, and then like 5.25 to the for the international clients.
I have a question. Now, one on the Investor Bridge. After 6 months term, is there penalty for?
There's no prepayment penalties on these.
Alright, so if I'm doing. Okay.
No prepayment.
And the construction aspect of it can be used in regards to, what criteria is construction? In other words, like, is it include flipping or is it with off ground?
We're doing like construction and permanent stuff.
Construction.
You know, like I've done a couple of construction loans on, what was it, 770 South Shore Drive? So it's like Normandy, I think.
Okay.
So I've done I did 770 Normandy. I did that one, and I did 860 construction, and then the one tomorrow. You'll see. I'll post it. But no, this one no prepayment penalties. Again, it's a short-term solution for someone that needs cash now, and there's always someone that needs money, always. This gentleman asked a very interesting question earlier. What do we need? What do we need for these clients? The first step, we interview the client. We ask them, what their needs are, where they're from, what are they looking for. We really assess the client, and then we explain to them and we brand our program as, hey, Mr. Client, this program is specifically for you. This is what I'm going to need. And again, all of you guys have all of this information. It's very simple. We have templates for all of these that we send out to the client. A CPA primary reference letter, so we just need a letter from their accountant indicating that they own their primary home in their country. We need a bank reference letter. It can be from their country, it can be from here. This is just really to indicate that they got money in the bank and they're good people. That's it. Copy of passport and visa. So we're going to need their copy of their passport and visa. We don't have any country restrictions except for your OFAC countries. For Venezuelans, 40% down is what they're requiring for Venezuelan. With this one, we need at least 3 months bank statements to verify that they have the funds in their country. We need the LLC documents with the EIN number so they can close in the name of an LLC. And then again, like I mentioned, the cash to close can be wired directly to the escrow account.
I also want to mention that we do have already those documents prepared, and if your clients need an example, we can email them to. We have in different languages. We have in Russian, we have in Spanish, we have an example. They can take it to the accountant, and we also have it already translated in English. That this way that it's not gonna be, they don't put any information that we don't need, or we have exactly how the lender wants it. We created them, and we provide that to the clients.
Yeah, we speak everything down here. Portuguese, Spanish, French, Hebrew, Russian. We know a little bit of, just enough to break the ice. So far we've covered analytics, we've covered the different lending programs, and now I'm going to conclude with how to better accommodate your client. How do you want to really position yourself when working with these folks? Like what kind of team you're going to need. So these are the folks that are required to put one of these deals together. You obviously need us, your mortgage brokers, right? You're going to need a domestic CPA, so you're going to need a CPA here to establish the EIN number, so it's very, very important to start networking with some of these CPAs, especially if they do a lot of, if they deal with foreign clients, because they may refer clients to you too. It maybe because they have access to them. A title attorney that can establish the LLC and that is highly, highly familiar with FRIPTA. If you don't know what FRIPTA is, I would highly recommend that you learn what FRIPTA is, because one of the questions I ask the seller's agent on a deal is your client domestic or are they foreign? And if they say foreign, it's like, have you figured out FRIPTA yet? And if they say, I don't know what that is, then you may run in, you might have run into something like that already. And you also want to network highly with international bankers. International bankers, these are guys that work at Chase, at Citi, at Wells. They work at your local banks that can open up checking accounts for these international buyers. Because they come here, they need to put the money in here in the accounts. So you definitely want to network with these guys. If you ever have any cool events, invite your banker. Your guy from Wells or Chase, like, hey, there's this open house, come. And then ultimately, your insurance agent. You definitely want to have a good insurance agent, either for international or domestic clients.
I also want to add, working with the foreign national clients, when they are here and they choose the property, they find the property, they leave. Before they leave, you want to make sure they open a checking account. That's why you do have to have a person who you can refer to go, because even though they don't require to have money wired into the country, they are required to have automatic deduction from the mortgage payment. They will require them to have like ACH form or the voided check. That's why when you have it here, when the client is here, you have to guide them to go and open a checking account SAP. And also, if they wanted to close an LLC or corporation, you also wanted to consult that with their CPA, whatever is better, and they have to open it, because tax ID number for LLC for foreigners takes a while to get, and we will not be able to close it without it. That's why it's very important for them to open up while they're there. Also, another great feature of this particular program is that you guys, they don't have to come here for closing. We can close an embassy with that. The title company will print the documents, send it, and they just go to the US notary and sign. And that's something that it couldn't be done for Russians. Now that open up this program, and we just close one an embassy, which is very good. They don't have to fly. That's why when your client is here, please, as Ronald mentioned, have your people who can help them to open accounts and stuff like that. And it's also great because they can refer business back to you. You do have to have a team when you're working with foreign nationals.
I'm going to open it up to Q&A. Yes, sir.
What about commercial properties? Would we have access to this kind of program if they buy, for example, I don't know, they're leasing a space for a restaurant, they want to purchase the walls?
We do have lending programs for commercial properties, but the criteria is completely different from what we just.
So you do offer?
But we do
We
offer
do.
for foreign nationals, yes.
Okay.
They do have a commercial, as long as they're not owner occupied, it's like an investment that they can definitely buy.
Yeah, we need to look. The difference between the streamline and the more complex is just the amount of documentation and verification that we need. That's really it. So that list that I showed you is like this. Commercial list is like that.
What, on average, what percentage down payment will be required for that kind of operation? You're looking at
50.
50% down?
Typically, yeah.
50.
If it cash flows, you can do you start at 30 if it's cash flowing, and if it's like an attractive property, an area, then they can do a little less down. But rule of thumb is usually we start at 50%.
Yeah, about because I was just on the phone with a client that it's operational, it's a restaurant, is on the road. I was just considering purchasing the wall. So maybe they can look for something less than 50%.
Is it, I'm sorry, it's a foreign national purchasing the restaurant that they're going to be operating here? Or
Yeah, with the restaurants will operate.
okay, they're just
So
buying it
this
and
is
being like an
decent.
investor.
I think the business has been operating for a couple of years. Now they must have personal rules.
And we can handful of lenders that can do those.
Yeah.
And we can shop it for you.
Restaurant is a little bit riskier business. That's why, they might gonna ask for a little bit more down payment. It's just from experience. But foreigners can buy, and as long as it basically with the commercial, they look mostly on the commercial houses, how it works, how it operates, how much money it makes, does it make sense or not? And then they look at the foreigner, the guy, the person, how much assets he has, what's going on.
Yeah, the list is a little more extensive, but we can get you some quotes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we work with that kind of clients.
Sorry, so with the case of finances,
Mhm.
does the money have to come from the country that the foreign national is from? Can it come from an offshore account?
That's a fantastic question. The money can be anywhere.
That's a very good question.
Anywhere in the world, and usually if it's in an offshore account, then the name of the account would be in a business name, like a holding company. So we would just need to verify that that person is the actual owner of the holding company. But yes, it can.
What about the source of the funds?
You have to source.
That's a great question too. With this one,
Not that I deal with shady clients.
Don't worry, we don't deal with
this is the
shady
best way I can
clients.
answer that question for you. I need
Nobody
3 months.
shady in Miami.
I need 3 months bank statements, right? If those 3 months bank statements do not have any large deposits, I'm good. If the bank statement has a large deposit, I have to source where that money came from. It's the best way I
If
can.
it's sitting there for 90 days, you don't question the source.
Even for 60 days, that it would fly.
Yeah.
Or you question the source, will give you some hints. Did he sell something? He might be sell the property. Because you know what I'm saying, like talk to your client. Where's the large cash came from?
We like.
Very aware of because of people deal with a lot of cash.
We're in the service industry. You know, we do sales. So really, the quicker and easier and smoother you can get your client from writing a contract to closing is really the way we like to roll. You know, so if we need to wait like a month or two, we just wait a month or two because it's going to be a lot easier and a lot smoother, and the experience is going to be a lot better for your client instead of hitting them for this and for this and for this and whereas it's just for our reputation, your reputation is just way better for like if we got to wait an extra month, let's just wait an extra month. You know, if we need to, obviously, and then we close it. But did that answer your question?
Yes.
Excellent.
Also, do homework with the client. When the client in front of you, ask them, look, the United States, we do have to source the funds where they came from for at least 60 days. If I look at your account right now, do I see any large deposits? And they was like, oh yeah, what was it, like a sale of something? Can you present as a document that is sales of something? Oh, I cannot. Okay, like we just have to like postpone, then we would have 2 statements that is clean, you know, without any questions.
Right.
But they will source it even if they are in another country. They would ask them for 2 months of bank statements from their country.
Also.
Yeah.
Caballero.
If you have to source it, say they moved this money to this account because they plan on making this purchase or whatever, right? That might be like a big one.
They would ask where the money came from. They would need to have a source of other 2 months.
So source that account or whatever like, for an additional 60 days.
It's just a paper trail. That's all. Like you
It's
wire the
gonna
money.
have to, this is the law here, like.
Yeah, it's the equivalent here, right? It's
Right.
almost- okay.
In our initial conversation with the client, we assess them and we pre-qualify them. So we're going to ask for this set of documentations and we're going to review it. And if they're not ready at that particular moment, we just wait a little bit. And then we once we have it ready, we have that package ready, and we know that it's going to fly, and then we set them, you know, we set them to start shopping and make offers. But really, the first step is get them pre-qualified, make sure we have the package secured, and then you can take off. You know, there's no surprises, and it's just smoother, man. The sales process. Yes, sir.
What is the average duration of the process when you say everything is flying?
Say it one more time.
When you say everything is flying, what is the average duration of the process?
So when we have our package, we have to submit it to the underwriter, the lender, right? So and when we submit this package, we want the lender to come back to us and say, congratulations, you are approved. We don't need anything from you. All we need is the appraisal, the title, the insurance, and you can close. That to me is a perfect package. You know, so we get a perfect package in the beginning where they're not going to ask me any questions. We put it in, the approval's back, title, insurance, and we close. You know, because it's in the initial structuring of your of the deal is where it makes or break it. You know, so why would I, pardon my language, half-ass the beginning work, send you a person, and then you find the house, and then all of a sudden in the middle, it just doesn't work, man. So we get them pre-qualified, get the package ready, so that there's not going to be any questions, and then we get you that. We get you the pre-approval letter, so you can take off.
And then how long the duration? Like how long does it take to have the mortgage?
Sure. So the first step is the pre-qualification, which takes about 72 hours, as long as the client gives us all the documentation we need. From there, we submit it directly to the underwriter at the lender. They're going to take at least 48 hours to get back to us. So really, it's a week. It's really a week time frame to know that we have an approval. And then as soon as you have the contract in place, then it's just 30 days to close. We'll order the appraisal right away, the title right away, and then we'll get any type of dwelling insurance that's needed. So really, to know if we have a deal or not, it's really a week. So it's going to take a week up front.
But as I said, do your homework with your client because you're gonna ask them questions and they're already gonna tell you, you know, and then we can review and tell, okay, it can be closed, you know, you guys ready to go. Sometimes we do get the clients that is like already on the contract and they just give it to us and then, you know, you just running around and just trying to figure out how to put it together.
That's okay. If you have a
We do have that. I mean,
if you have a deadline and you're in contract and the other dude can close, hey, we got the investor bridge. We'll close it like that, and then we'll take them out. We'll just refinance them out. You know,
Refinance.
close them quick, and then in a couple months we just refinance them out, and it pays like in a couple extra points, but you know, at least you close your deal. He's happy, you're happy, and then you know you establish that trust with him. Yeah, Q&A.
You're mentioning that the client would have to open up an account for the monthly payments for the mortgage. Okay, just to confirm, that's
It's very important.
So
Also,
So only the initial first withdrawal, yes?
Yes,
The 50%
if they-
deposit can come through the escrow, but the rest of the payments for the mortgage needs to go through.
it has to be automatic draft every month from the mortgage.
Okay.
And also, please speak with your client regarding how they want to structure it, if it's going to be LLC or corporation. I've seen it, I had it, telling you from experience, the tax ID takes a long time, and sometimes we're back for exception to close without tax ID for foreign national. But if you do everything, because if you take him to CPA, he opens up LLC, he applies for tax ID, that's it. He can fly and close at home in like whatever, 45, 30 days. Also, another thing, when you're working with a foreign national translation, we would like them, a lot of countries right now, when they go to the bank, they get like the bank reference in English, you know, rather than in their own language. They offer that. Even in Russia, they offer that. You can get it as much English, you know, if the CPA can do it in English, get it. Because that will, if you're gonna go and then you submit again tell them they're gonna send you a document and they have to be translated, it takes time. But we also have
just as like in our assessment, we're gonna ask for those documents, and I'm always gonna tell them as much English as possible. But if they give us something in their native language, we have translators that can do the trick for
there
them.
is like 1hourtranslator.com.
Yeah, we
they
can
do
take
it
care
in
of it.
1 hour, but it's expensive, and some clients they prefer to take them.
We take care of it. We
Fair
take
enough.
care of it. The checking account though, it's just for auto draft. That's all it is. So it's just to take out they'll include the mortgage payment, taxes, and insurance from their checking account here
But
in the
if
United
they don't
States.
come back, nobody will open it for them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I was wondering, because initially you guys mentioned about having it in the escrow and doing payments through the attorney. I just wanted to verify, you mean
Yeah,
the
just
bank,
for-
they can
it's just
draft
for
it,
auto
yes, yes.
draft.
It's just for auto.
And that domestic account needs to be established prior to closing?
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
And you have to physically
come to
present
How to do it,
at
open
the
that account.
bank.
It can be under their name or under LLC as well.
And you have to prove mailing address, that is a physical address, you cannot be PO box.
Yep.
So you wanna have CPA who can, like, let them use his address, I think that's the best way.
Pretty much a registered agent.
So
for
the best
LLC,
way is to
internal.
establish all of that while they're still there.
Exactly.
And when they come here, we wanna have you in and ready and LLC ready and all documents and the address being sorted out. And some banks still won't open it, cause they changed their policies too. I'm sorry to interrupt, like Citibank, they used to be easy, but then they changed policies. Citibank, unpleasant experience. Bank of America, sign Alice.
Yeah.
But still, true connection, I had to make. these
Exactly. Your
special
people
calls.
people needs to.
You have to know quite a few specific people.
Yes, who can help you? That's
Yeah,
right.
if you don't have those relationships established,
Yeah.
we have contacts for you. We have the
That's
CPAs,
important.
we have we have the team already in place. You know, it's just different flavors. You know, depending on
So
what.
each bank in San Alice works.
I worked with actually a lot of clients open the Citibank. There is the Citibank, and I come from PNC Bank. I know PNC was next to Matryoshka, but I didn't work there.
That thing with they give you this device when you open a business account,
Mm-hmm.
and then verification, then they froze your account if it's a suspicious activity.
Which one? The
Citibank.
Citibank. I don't know about business accounts. I used to work for like 6 years for PNC Bank. That's why I do have a lot of people know, and I send a lot of clients there. Now they closed one and they open one in Aventura, but they do have service foreigners because they bought the bank from Canada, RBC Bank. that's why they are familiar with that. But yeah, you need to know people to. Yeah, but like it's policies. The banks has to have regulation, and if they don't like the account, they're gonna shut down. It doesn't matter if it's gonna be in Bank of America anywhere.
Take
They
them to
don't
different
like
bank.
this suspicious. There's something they don't like. I'm sorry.
They do
It is what it is.
froze your account.
Yeah.
They do. If
And they give you the money. I had a client who received like $700,000 check, and that's it. He
and
didn't know
your
what to
client
do. They
doesn't
closed
speak
his
English,
account.
then it's tricky. And,
I used to be a banker back then. I mean, that is what it is. And nothing we could do. Like, we would go to the upper management, explain his situation. They said, no, we don't want him on the bank. Here you go. And there's no explanation.
People with compliance.
Exactly.
Any other Q&As?
the money being allowed to leave Russia now, how it is with Russia?
Yes, they have, as long as you don't transfer to your personal account and you transfer it to the business, that's what Ronald said. If you transfer directly from your account to the attorney, it is considered the transaction that is not going to raise a red flag. That's what I've been told from my client.
But the Russian bank will ask for
Contract?
contract in
Yeah.
Russian language.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Sometimes the other.
Really? I didn't have
I
that
had
experience. They
to
never asked.
translate the whole
Wow.
as is to let people and then they made us make платежка.
I understand.
Also in Russian, and also it needed to be verified. So it's
Wow.
it's tricky. Yeah.
I never had that. No, I guess because we always transfer to the attorney and there was no questions asked.
But even with all of that, they had to make a phone call to the president of the bank, and only after that they let money.
How was it? How long ago was it?
A few years ago.
Yeah, it's better now.
It's better now.
Yeah. No, I never had that. Thank God. But it's tricky, and they don't buy as much anymore, unfortunately, because of the whole thing, the moving parts.
Well, guys, we want to thank you for your time today, and all our information is there. If you're in Aventura this evening, we have an open house. If you guys want to stop by, more sushi and champagne. So thanks again.